AM 560. The Answer.
You think I want to get along or finance these scallywag scumbags? National divorce! Let's do it! You notice how they never want to practice secession, even their little fiefdoms? Because they can't pay for anything. They're like Brandon Johnson before he became mayor. Couldn't buy yesterday's paper tomorrow, you frickin' bust out. Jan in Wheaton.
Hey, Sean. It's Jan.
Hi, Jan.
I want to tell you back early days, probably around 2010. I remember talking to somebody at Illinois College.
Whoa. Let's take it easy now. Don't try to get a fast one by me. The early days of 2010. The early days are like 20 or 1972.
No.
Those are the early days. But go ahead.
Oh, you're right. You are totally correct. I'm just trying to remember when things happened. I was looking into pensions, and they were obnoxiously high. And these people, most teachers would never steal from anybody, but they don't seem to mind when their Uncle Sam does it on their behalf and gives it to them.
And you know what you just described? The cowardice of socialism. They're thieves, and they know they are. They just don't have the courage that the Chicago public school students have to go into your house, break the windows, or the illegal aliens, and take your stuff up front.
Absolutely. But
they want the government to do it. Of course they are. Yes.
Yes. Anyway, I had suggested that we cap pensions even if it took a constitutional amendment, and that cap should be based on, say, the median income of the average Illinois taxpayer, or maybe we base it on what maximum somebody can get from Social Security if they retire with full benefits. You know,
let's
it's ridiculous.
Let's think this out, right? Because what you steal is not just from the taxpayer, where we guarantee this agreement. It's not a pension; it's an agreement. What you steal is the benefit to the private economy. What is the stock market? The stock market is currency of individual companies, and in some cases, indexes. So as private, you could actually wash public sector money and make it more legitimate of private sector if you took their money and you actually allowed them to have their own system rather than these agreements, because they put words together. Right? Unfunded pension liability. What's that? Nothing. It means nothing. You just don't have the fracking money. So you not only don't have the money, you missed all of the opportunity of investing in those companies. You destroyed not only the public sector, you destroy the private sector. So what you have to do, Jan, is break the agreement. There is no way a government can somehow say government employees are gods among you, and you will be stripped of your assets to pay an agreement you didn't make. None of these people made this agreement. This is outright tyranny.
I also told Mike Conley one time that we needed to move the pensions off the state and put them on the local cities and school districts. And he says, we can't do that. They go bankrupt. I said, precisely. And the state can let cities.
Well, here's the other thing, Jan.
Bankrupt.
You know how many of these swindlers? You know, I got Tom Fortino, right? I just had Scott on. These are guys that are investment advisors. These are guys that make money when they take your money, right, and they put it in there. I was one of those. But wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now, no, but they get paid from profit. There's a different structure. But here's the difference. Yeah. They don't make a third of what the money bundlers make, who have those agreements with municipalities, with counties, with states. Those guys get paid regardless, and they get paid 3 times what the honest advisor gets made. So the money bundlers are in on it too. Thank you very much for the call. Just think it out. The more you do, the bigger the swindle gets. Pete, Chicago Ridge.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? I got a beef. Maybe you can help me out. You know all the answers. Hey, I have a 2020 Chevy Tahoe that has a 26-gallon gas tank. It's a little over a quarter tank of gas. I went to fill up, and I got 21 gallons of gas. The stickers, I have not seen lately in the last 5 gas stations, those inspection stickers. What's going on?
How about that leap of faith that you gotta pretend? Number one, you gotta pretend that the octane that they say is on the pump is actually in the tank, which I've never seen more than one truck pull up to a thing. So let's go with that. Then you gotta have faith that the number that they say is pumped is actually in your tank. And who do you have to trust? Exactly. Swindler Democrats that work for the state, and the swindler who owns the gas station who can't wait to charge you $4 for a donut that was made 6 months ago. Yeah, it's a rough call, kid.
Well, I went inside and asked the kid behind the counter. I go, what's going on, man? You guys have no stickers, no inspection stickers. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I go, Well,
Yeah.
my car does not take that much gas. With a little over a quarter tank of gas.
Hey, Pete, did you ever see Guys?
I'm sorry.
Did you ever see Guys and Dolls?
Go ahead.
Did you ever see Guys and Dolls?
No, I never.
Oh, the best movie ever.
I'm 6.
And how old are you?
I'm 66 years old. I haven't seen it.
Guys and Dolls. It's an old movie, and they're rolling dice with a gangster from. They're rolling dice with a gangster from Cicero, and his name is Jilly. And Frank Sinatra says, "But Big Jilly." Yes, Frank Sinatra says, "But Big Jilly, there are no spots on that dice." And Big Jilly says, "I remember where they were." So when you asked, there are no stickers on that tank. I remember when there were. Thank you, Pete. Everybody's got to watch Guys and Dolls. Greg LaGrange.
Guys and Dolls is a classic. Any movie with Brando, with Sinatra, Gene Simmons, and I can't think of the woman that played Sinatra's paramour.
It wasn't Clooney. Was it Clooney? Was it Rosemary? No, I got that wrong.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You know what? It's a classic movie. Everybody should see it. Okay, yeah. First comment. The first caller that you took, you got to remember this. On the crazy train we call Illinois and the legislature, the head engineer of that train is not going to step down to relinquish his power. You're not going to get any constitutional amendment to take away that what was put in 1970. The other thing is, what Scott Tucker said kind of confused me. Maybe you can help me out.
All right.
He said that there was an option that, or I understood him to say, I should put it that way, that there was an option for somebody to take their lump sum pension, knowing that it wouldn't be their full pension, as opposed to waiting until the end. But how could that be legal according to the Illinois state constitution if everybody's guaranteed a full pension?
It's a buyout. They're offering buyouts. Well, Greg, first of all, the so-called amended constitution that somehow creates an illegal agreement of an absolute guarantee at the cost of the citizens is illegal itself. It's just never been challenged. Who are you going to bring it to?
Guaranteed.
You're going to bring it to Big Julie? Right? So you're going to you need the federal government to come to these Democrat mafia states like our own and put them into receivership because they've been corrupted for years, to your earlier point. So the smart municipal worker, as far as I'm concerned, would take the buyout. Give me the money now. I'll go put it in my own 401k. I'll put it in my own life. I'll put it in my own investments. Because one thing's for certain, at least you'll possess the money. When you die, the pension goes away, unless you have an agreement. If you're a cop or a fireman, I think your wife gets it. But I don't think it goes that way for all of them. So take the money. Now you could do more with it, but you'd have to be smart, and you'd have to have initiative. So that guarantees about 7% are going to do it. See what I did there, Squirrel?
Sean, I can't believe how screwed up this place is. I mean, it is absolutely so screwed up. There will be no change.
Of course not. Just on the philosophical premise of what the government is telling you within its own law. It tells you that if you are part of the government, you are a god. You can tax people who are not a part of the government forever to make you whole on a promise that should never exist because it is illegitimate. It is a financial crime, the pension system in municipal areas. A financial crime. And until you start talking like that, they're going to think they got away with it. Why not, Greg? They got away with it since Jimmy Carter was doing jumping jacks. That's how it works. Lee Daniels, how's the hair? Still good? John, Garfield Ridge.
Hey, Sean, how you been lately, brother?
Wonderful. How are you, kid?
Yeah, doing well, thanks. It's looking more and more like both Rahm Emanuel and J.B. Pritzker are going to be running for president here. Sean, just keeping it local here, which message do you think Warren and other moron Illinois Democrats are going to gravitate towards more, Sean? Never let a tragedy go to waste or never let a cheeseburger go to waste.
It doesn't matter what they tell their morons because they're morons, right? And they've got the army of people who are recipients of the money. So you're never going to convince them. What you have to do is appeal to that narrow few. And you have to say, if results matter, you can never elect a Democrat to anything. If the results matter, if you prefer the promises, then hire the liar. But if the historic results and reality and economics matter, you cannot be a Democrat. The Democrats are for morons and thieves, and that's it. That's the message. Ladies' night. Sandra, Chicago.
Oh, Dad, I love you, okay? I love you forever.
Easy now. I'm already in one trouble. I think but go ahead. Shoot.
Listen, this is a Croatian from Rogers Park. Sandra, listen.
Croatian women, very spicy. You're gonna have a great time, and you may get punched in the morning. Go ahead.
That's what I'm talking about. You know me already. I can't handle this older woman of mine. Every time I just pulled out of my parking spot, it's like I'm in Tehran with all these freaking potholes. This dummy, she's obsessed with trans visibility day. She's a triple threat, like Cross would say. She's a lesbian, she's black, and she's a woman. And she's from Ohio. She's not even from here.
Is she? I didn't know what race. I didn't know what race she is. And now listen to me, Sandra. She's not a lesbian for any other reason. She didn't have much choice. You know, it's not really a proclivity if you can't get anything on the other side of the fence. Because I know a lot of guys from Melrose, a lot of guys, Mannheim road dwellers at 2 a.m. I don't know anybody that will go with that broad. You see her? What is she? A triple XL? She's a big broad in those Eddie Bauer.
The only bra she's wearing is a sports one.
Yeah, that's not good. No, that's not good. You know, did you see the bra on Kristi Noem's husband? That's a freak show, isn't it? You think the freak show is only on the Democrat side? Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. Here's something I never thought I'd say to a guy. Nice rack. Thank you. 312-642-5600.
Broadcasting from the petri dish of corruption known as the state of Illinois.
In the upper Midwest, the nation, and around the world.
This is the Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.